Hello there, welcome to another episode of Inside Out Alignment, your platform for self discovery and creativity. Your host, Mary Tapper. Another beautiful day to celebrate, and today we are blessed to have with us Tomoko, a singer and songwriter originally from Japan. She's lived in New York for 14 years and currently residing in Las Vegas. And she's been living in the United States for 23 years now. She is also the host of the podcast Songwriters Room on YouTube and a creator and educator of the popular TikTok series JapaNEWS. You need to check that out. It is amazing. She has performed at Blue Note, New York, ready to release her new album, No Geisha, later this year and finishing her first book, My Japa News. She once gave up singing due to her traumatic childhood experiences, but worked through it and eventually learned how to love herself. Tomoko is a Leo, born in the year of Tiger, a fearless loner, doing what she loves to do as a creator against all odds. Tomoko, it's an honor and a pleasure to have you here today. Thank you so much for accepting our invite and welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Now, Tomoko, you talk about you trying to understand why we are here, understanding the reason why we are here. Tell us a little bit about how you got to that point of trying to understand why we are here or why each and every one of us needs to get to that message of knowing our reason to be here.
Before that, let me just start saying that I am nowhere near where I want to be as far as social and financial goals and successes that I want to achieve. But yet, I've never been happier, never felt more free, never felt more grateful in my life. And the feelings of happiness and gratitude go hand in hand because when you're grateful for what you have, then you can't be unhappy. If you're happy, then you are grateful too. So I am so grateful that I got to this point in my life. And thank you, Mary, today for having me so I can articulate this, how I could get to this point that I'm really feeling happy and grateful today. To find the purpose and the meaning of our struggles is crucial. If not, then life can be just hardships and temporary casualties. I read a book a long time ago called Why Me? That one book was phenomenal. It gave me a whole another level of perspectives in life. I read it like 20 years ago, but I remember she was saying like everybody has our own life purpose in life, right? Then there's a purpose as a family. For example, with those close friends and family members, our lives are intertwined. So if we may have the same subject that we help each other to learn, one person is very sick and the other in the family has to be a caretaker, then it's a one act. And doing so together, they are learning about something together. Then there is a purpose as a country. Then there is a purpose as a race. If you're Black or white or Asian, it's very obvious these days, that certain same things that we go through as a race, and we are learning together for the purpose of learning this one subject. And then there's a purpose as a human beings on this earth. So it's all about perspectives, and knowing that will really help you feel the ease of all the struggles and hardships that we go through.
Wow. And what is the one thing that make you get to the point that you found like you needed to read this book? Were you always a reader and you wanted to know more and get into that space of trying to know more before you found that out? Or have you always lived in that sense of trying to find out what your purpose is and what will bring you more fulfillment?
Yeah, I think God has been with me all my life. I always felt the presence around me. Again, I'm really grateful to have that feeling because my parents were like almost atheists. But when I was a little kid, my stomach all of a sudden hurts for whatever the reason. And I run to the bathroom and it really hurts. And I'm so sorry, God. Whatever I thought I did, I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. I will never do it again. And then the pain just stops right there. So I always felt the presence, and I always ask, why am I here? But it took me a long time to get to. I had to really work on myself. Like you said, I'm Leo, born in the year of Tiger. I'm from Osaka. Makeup, yakuza, comedians. I was born fearless. And I remember even as a baby, I stumbled on something and I hurt my leg, whatever. But I'm like, like a little, like a little lion or tiger. But this is how my fate happened. My very first memory was 3 years old. I was already singing, dancing this particular song in Japanese. I even remember the song. Hitori futari ko ino aite wa hoshii no katsu. And I had like a Japanese 10 guys in the audience. That was my very first memory, 3 years old. So, which means there was nothing else I ever wanted to do in my life. And I was going for it. But
Mm.
my parents were struggling very hard financially, and my mother working as a hostess club, mama san, what they call the owner. And she was never at home. So if somebody else was always looking after me. And when I was 5, she saw me in a long time and she uttered to me that, what an ugly child. So you hear these same kind of stories, some teacher told you you can't sing. So, I stopped singing, but I came out of her. So hearing those words from her is almost like God is telling you. And it shattered my soul to the core. And I stopped pursuing to be a singer because I thought I was too ugly to be a singer, and buried my passion until my college days. So it's like almost 20 years. I buried my passion. I was always singing by myself outside somewhere. I was very blessed with a lot of great friends. And junior high school to high school, and got a lot of great friends. I started to open up. And after the college, I said, you know what? Let me do what I love to do. One thing I just love to do. And if I fail or not, at least I tried. So, what was the meaning of it? Why did it happen that way? I believe that I chose, and my mother helped me to learn whatever I had to learn. And I think my lesson was I had to relearn about self love, which many may have to go through, and ultimately leads to recognizing the divine in us. It sounds like a cliche, but learning about love, period. I think that's our ultimate goal, because what else? What are we here for? And so I had to really work on myself, and I learned how to meditate and pray. My parents never had the chance, never had the opportunity, and I'm completely aware that I'm standing on the shoulders of my ancestors because they pay their dues, and they never had a chance. But out of my whole family, everybody lives in Osaka, Japan. I'm the only one who came to America, performed in Blue Note. I think I have a responsibility to keep spreading my wings and fly. That's where I'm at.
I love that. It is beautiful just to see how you took, despite getting those words from mom. And sometimes we, and at a very young age also, that can really affect a child, which did affect you. But at the same time, you look at it as you had some things to learn from there. You didn't stay in that arena of just saying, why me? You got out of there and say, why not me? Like,
Mhm.
okay, why not me? It can happen to me too. But it is only me who can decide about who I am, and accepting myself just the way I am, and acknowledging the divine in me, that very essence of me. If I'm here, then I'm here for a reason. He's given me this beautiful gift, and all I have to do is use it. And you took responsibility of that, without having bearing that grudge, but just loving yourself the way you are, and say you are this beautiful being, and the very essence is in you, and you're going to spread your wing. That is what you've done, and it's just beautiful just hearing that from you and sharing something that many of us go through, and then we hide under this, not knowing that at the end of the day, when we get to adulthood, it's not about what our parents said to us. they've done their part. And sometimes it's because people go through pain, and the pain they're going through, not even unknowingly, unconsciously, they transfer it to other people. And
Yes.
if you take that too personal, that will destroy you. And don't, so whoever is out there and feel like they've been a lot of things that they don't feel like it's really them has been said to them, and they've embraced it and taken it like and holding that grudge, you're destroying yourself. Don't take it personal. Love yourself and know that you're here for a reason. Embrace yourself, because it is only when you accept yourself that those out there will be able to accept you. Let your light shine and be the best version of you. And surround yourself with people who can support you in the area that you need growth, and be in an environment where you can have open conversation and be your authentic self and be that person that you're here for. And why not be an inspiration, just like Tomoko is here today, inspiring us and letting us understand that it's not our circumstances or our conditions that defines them. Amongst all of her family, she's the person who is here today, and she's thriving. She's still working, but she has gone a long way. She's come out of that shell. She's living her life. She's following her path. And I love that. Inspirational. Thank you so much for sharing.
Well, thank you. You just mentioned the magic keyword acceptance.
Yeah,
When you get to the point of acceptance, I think everything is going to be okay. You know what I realized? I had an aha moment when I realized that my mother did everything that she knew that was right in her mind. And if she knew better, she would have done better.
better. Yes.
That's when I was like, woo, tears rolled down my face. I cried for about 30 minutes. We only can do what we know is right. If we knew better, we would have done better. I accepted what she did. It's not that she didn't love me. She was doing what she only knew. That really helped me to heal.
Beautiful, beautiful. Today I'm here with my mother, and sometimes we share about a lot of things.
Mm.
And it's like, when she looks at her past, or she looks at the way maybe my husband and I, the way we interact and the things that we do, or the kind of discussions that we have. And then we share some stuff with her. I'm like, my husband is really communicative. And sometimes she would sit with me and say, if she had to restart, she would do things so much, so differently. And I'm like, Mom, you don't need to beat yourself up, because you gave us what you had at that time. That's all you knew, and you gave it to us. You know
Oh.
what? I don't want you to sit down and be like you're trying to beat yourself and say, you don't need that. You have grandchildren. All you have to do is express that to them. That's all you need to do. Don't hold bear grudges against yourself. Don't be mad at yourself. You are that person. You're learning. You're open-minded, and that is what matters today. And that's all. Even me, I'm learning. When these kids grow up, their time will not be my time. They're going to be doing different things, and I can only give them what I know right now. They might not even be satisfied with it. They'll feel like maybe I could have done better, but that's all I can give them right now, because that's what I know. And
Mhm.
all I know is I'll give my best for them, and I'll always let them know that I love them, and wish them the best. But I will not come in their life and impose on them to be like I am, because their time will be different from mine. It will be like I'm trying to hold them, hostage. So you are here, we are learning, and it's just life is a learning journey until we check out. Yeah.
Mhm. Who knows? If I didn't go through that, I could have been just Leo Tiger, and I think I was the queen of the world, whatever. I could have been just arrogant and then succeed in the music business and treated everybody bad or end up doing drugs. Who knows? I know that I've been protected all this time. So in that sense, things that I wanted didn't turn out to be the way I wanted. But like I said, I accept it and I'm really grateful. My turning points in my life is that every time I move to a different place,
Mm-hmm.
when I decided to pursue my music, eventually, after college, I was in Osaka and I moved to Tokyo when my grandfather passed away.
Nice.
Was more important than my parents. He was the only one who believed in me, Tomoko, you're going to be somebody. And he always talked to me about his experience with God and angels. So when he passed there, I was like, I have to go now. If not, I will never be able to leave. So I moved to Tokyo to be a professional singer. And then my mother passed away in 1997. I didn't want to leave my father alone, but I said, if I don't leave now, again, I will never be able to leave. My parents never approved of me doing music, but he said, do whatever you want to do so that you won't have no regrets in your life. So I moved to New York, and that changed my whole life, right? And I worked very hard to succeed as an Asian R&B singer songwriter for 14 years. And I worked very hard. I got close to the door, met some players, big names, just to find about the satanic reality of the music business. I'm talking about before YouTube. I'm talking about real names, real stories. This is not no conspiracy theory. So I was devastated and I lost the directions. I'm like, what? This sucks. What am I going to do? God sent me to Las Vegas. And I've been here, like, I've been to other places, LA and places, but about 10 years. And that also changed my perspective. I think, changing where you are really turning point because everything changes, with different cultures, different laws, different people. So some people may be too afraid, but, I'm Leo.
You go
I'm
for it.
brave enough to go for it.
Amen to that. Can you tell us a little bit about your podcast?
It's called Songwriter's
That's
Room.
wrong.
I am a singer songwriter. See, my biggest music inspiration is Stevie Wonder, period. Everybody
Yeah,
knows, all my
I
friends
know
know.
that.
I'm a fanatic of Stevie Wonder. Hi, Stevie Wonder. My ultimate goal is to interview him, how he wrote these songs. So there's a difference between just singers, singer-songwriters, and songwriters and producers. A lot of people may never really think about it, but without songs, there will be no singers.
Definitely.
And without songwriters, there will be no
No
songs.
sounds.
So songwriters matter. I am a songwriter myself because, listen to Stevie Wonder. There are not many meaningful songs like that these days. So lyrics matter to me. The message matter to me. He is musically, even without lyrics, he is super pure genius, a messenger from heaven, obviously. But the lyrics and to go with the melody and music production is crazy. So when I was 5 years old, and then I was singing Japanese songs, and then my first American record was Carpenters, and I learned how to sing in English. And then one day when I was after 9 or 10 years old, my big sister had a piece of record called Songs in the Key of Life by Stevie Wonder. And I put the record, and then, good morning, evening, friends. Here's your friendly announcer. I have serious news to pass on to everybody. What I'm about to say could mean the world's disaster, could change your joy and laughter to tears and pain. It's that love's in need of love today. So I'm like, I didn't even know what it really meant because my English was not that good, but I felt it in my soul.
Wow.
So Songwriter's Room was born interviewing these people. The host speaks like 10%. I can do that. I don't have to talk all the time, but who I want to interview, Stevie Wonder.
Stevie Wonder.
That's how it's born.
It's going to happen. Definitely.
Yes. Thank you. I hope we will stay healthy because he's now is like 71. And last year he had a kidney transplant and planning to move to Ghana. So I hope he will stay healthy.
We all hope so, that for him. We all
Yes.
wish him all the best in health because you have
Yes.
dignity, you have respect, and you love yourself, and that is what matters. Right?
Thank you so much, Mary.
Yes, it does. Tell us about your book, JapaNEWS.
Yes, I started this series called JapaNEWS, first on YouTube.
Uh-huh.
I feel like I'm an ambassador of Japan. All these people come to me and say, I want to go to Japan. A lot of them know about the culture, but most of them don't. And his language his culture is totally different. If you go there, Mary, you will love it because it's just totally different. People are so nice and courteous, clean, organized. But then, of course, I was born and raised there, so I know all the downside too. So I don't have to be there, but all these things that people don't know, I should be teaching.
Right.
So, and I worked on it. I had about 100 videos on YouTube for 2 years, but didn't get no traction. But then TikTok came along. So I started on January getting thousands of views. I'm like, what? At the same time, I started writing a book called My JapaNEWS, which is a little different from videos. There's a little details and experience that I have had living in America as a Japanese.
Mm-hmm.
And so obviously I look at things in a different way, coming from where I come
Come
from.
from.
And yeah, so there are many things that I admire about American people and culture. And at the same time, I see the things that they may not be able to see that I see in a different way
Way.
because Japanese would have probably done it in a different way or thought
Right.
in a different way. So that's why I am writing this book and hope to finish, but all this juggling all at the same time. Songwriters room, JapaNEWS, podcast, and TikTok. It's great.
I love that. We'll be waiting for that
Also, release my album called
album.
No Geisha. I have to do my own music too. So all of that, hope to do it all in this year and next year.
Just cheering you up.
Thank you,
Have a
Mary.
lot going on. And I just want to say that you can visit Tomoko at tomokomusic.com. And she has a series of a lot of things that you can, I don't know, whether it's, I think music that she's performed, her singles herself. I listened to some the other day and I also listened to her TikTok videos. They're very inspiring and she's very lively. I just love it. And it's so soothing. Go to YouTube and visit and listen to this. Your voice is so soothing. I really, really enjoyed it. So keep doing what you're doing and being an inspiration. So on the description box of this episode, I'm going to put all her information, the website and the TikTok address as well that you can visit and actually, get into knowing her more and following her why not and subscribe to the YouTube channel and also be that support and get the inspiration that you need. Myself, I love the JapaNEWS because Japan is one of the countries that I would absolutely love to visit. Not just me, but my family and myself. And I look forward to learning more from you, so I can, when I'm going, I already know that okay, this is where I can visit. These are the things that I can find, and the food and everything. Japanese food is so good. I like to learn from different cultures. That's what makes life beautiful. This cultural diversity and this collaboration and just having you here today sharing and inspiring us is just amazing. Thank you so much for being here. Do you have anything else that you would love to share with the audience before we separate?
I just want to say arigato. And I'm going to teach you how to say you're welcome. Do you know how to say you're welcome?
No, can I learn that now?
Don't touch my mustache.
Don't touch my masters.
Yes, it sounds just like it. It's actually do itashimashite.
Do stash masters.
Thank you, Mary.
Thank you, Tomoko. Thank you so much, our great audience. Thanks for listening. Thanks for being with us. It's been a great time. And Tomoko, thanks
It's been
for
a
coming.
pleasure.
Yeah,
Thank
it was a
you.
great sharing. Appreciate you so much.